What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be installing the PRL high volume intake onto my 2021 Honda Civic Type R. So the MAF sensor I actually got is the street MAF, not the race MAF. The main reason I did that is because with the street MAF you don't need to tune the car, but when you get the race MAF you're gonna need to tune it as soon as you install the intake. So if you guys already have your full bolt-ons or whatever y'all want to do to your car and you're going to tune the car, either way, then I recommend getting the race MAF. If not, then just stick with the So here in a second I'll be opening up the car, popping the hood, and we'll go ahead and begin with the installation of the PRL high volume intake. Appreciate it. Stay tuned, guys. So I got my handy knife with me. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the box and see what came in with the PRL high volume intake. Ooh. So I'm actually surprised that they threw in a installation guide for it. High volume intake for the PRL. I guess if you don't want to end up watching the video, you can buy the installation guide for it. So we got that. Got some stickers, 5 horsepower a piece. Thank you for choosing PRL Motorsports. So that's always cool to get. Nice little personal detail. Inside the actual box, what everyone's waiting for, you have the original, the box where the PRL intake's going to mount to in here. Got that. Piping for the PRL intake. I like that blue finish inside. It looks pretty nice. Some hose clamps. Got this also came in. And we have the filter. Looks pretty nice. A nice red to it. PRL Motorsports right in the front. So we got that. Got some gear, some hardware, and some more hardware. I'm actually gonna leave that hardware in the box so I don't end up losing it. And then this, which looks like it's going to be the, I can't remember where I left that knife. There we go. Let's go and open this up. Looks like it's gonna be the MAF housing. So on this specific PRL intake, the high volume intake, you can choose 2 different types of MAF housings, the race MAF and the street MAF. After doing some research in the forums, the street MAF, which is this one that I got, doesn't require a tune when you're doing it. And like, my car is still under warranty. I don't plan on tuning it anytime soon, so I stuck with street MAF. But if you eventually want to get more power, you can get the race MAF instead. So up to your personal choice. Price is around the same. It's just which one you want to get at the end of the day. If you plan on tuning your car soon, you should probably stick with the race. If not, street's pretty good too. So first things first, let's go ahead and pop that hood. Start getting this intake worked on. So all our work today is going to be going on under the hood. We're going to be replacing this stock housing, this piping right here, disconnecting it here and here. So we're going to need to build the aftermarket airbox for the PRL, but to start we're going to go ahead and pull this box out for the original airbox. We're going to pull out this piping right here and these lines. So let's go ahead and start here. If you see, there's some clips, some yellow clips here. Just be very careful not to break them. Kind of reach towards the bottom and then just lift up just like that. You can feel the clips too. Just make sure you feel that area right there. Pinch and lift. Just like, oh. All right guys, so I got scared. I thought I broke one for a second, but you can just slide that pin back in and it'll go right back to its spot. I was like, dang it. Already 5 seconds into the job and I already broke something. And then lift and pull. So be sure not to lose this. I'm gonna put this somewhere safe over there, probably. And yeah, that's how you get that. Or peace out right here. Now we're gonna work on the air box. So to start on the air box, let's go ahead and start by disconnecting the MAF sensor. Be very careful with this. You don't want to end up damaging this or anything. Then we're gonna end up pulling this wiring piece off of the box. So what you're gonna do is basically how these tabs work. You push them down and it'll release it. And for now, just place it to the side like that, like so. Take out these two bolts. I'm guessing they're 12s. Let me make sure. So we can start removing this bolt right here, this bolt back here, try to get this air box out. So I was wrong, guys. It's actually a 10mm. Kind of embarrassing. Oh well, but I have this cool little impact driver, 1/4 inch from Milwaukee. It's gonna do the job for me right here. Take those bolts out. There you go. Make sure not to lose this or lose these actually. So put this one somewhere safe. And you don't have to have an impact driver or something fancy like that. The regular socket and a ratchet, it'll be just fine. Let's go ahead and get Phillips and start taking out this MAF sensor. Same thing with these Phillips. If you don't have a tool like me, just go ahead and use a screwdriver. You just want to be very careful with these. Make sure you got a nice firm grounding before you try to hit it, especially with an impact driver, because you do not want to strip these. Pull out this MAF. Ooh, that's hella fancy. And what I like doing, I like screwing these back in to where they go. That way I know exactly where these bolts go, and that way I won't lose them. So pro tip for you guys. So now we're going to continue and we're going to loosen this clamp right here, take out this bolt, and take out that bottom bolt right there, which I believe these two are 12s and this one's a 5.5mm. Man, guys, I think I got something going on with the 12s. These are actually 10s. My bad. So what I did is I got a 10mm with a extension, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this extension on my gun right here. Well, first actually, make sure you mount it up because we don't strip bolts here. Make sure that's nice and tight in there. Every impact, hit that bolt up. So now we're gonna hit this one. It's a 5.5mm bolt. And again, thread this little bolt in here. So once you got that loose, this clamp loose, what you're gonna do is you're gonna wiggle this piping out. Now you can focus on taking out this piping right here and these lines. Now we're going to take out this bolt and this rear one right here, now that we got this clamp and this back one loose, and then we're going to work with this one right here. So stay tuned for that. Man, I don't know what's up with all these 10mm. I'm surprised I have so many. Like, I'm always losing my 10mm stuff. Break that loose right there, and that is a bolt, 10mm too. I took out this front one already. Careful with this O-ring right here. You do not want to end up damaging that. Same technique, screw these bolts in. So by the look of this right here, this clamp is super interesting. It doesn't look like there's any way to loosen it. So we're gonna stick with good old brute force. Not gonna lie, guys, this is a pain to get off. kind of just pulling and wiggling together. Almost there. There we go. Stock piping. Go ahead and give it a good pull, good tug. Wiggle it out. Here we go. That is the stock airbox for the Civic. So first thing you want to do, slip this coupler into this filter housing right here. So once you get this clamp right here tying down, what you're going to want to do is get your filter housing box, and you're going to want to remove all these screws right here so you can set the filter inside. Just in case you're wondering what size Allen this one is, it is a 3 for the Allen size. Now that you got this cover off, you can go ahead and set this filter in here. So something worth of noting, you cannot put this cone in first before mounting the filter in the box. I thought you could. I tried making it fit, but I didn't want to damage the filter at all. It slides in easier without it, and then you mount it inside the actual box. So go ahead and put this back on the same way and tighten this bolt right here. So what you're going to be using to tighten up those Allens to attach the MAF to the actual filter housing are going to be these 4 bolts right here. So it's going to be a 5. That's the size of this Allen right here. So what we're going to do is, I do not want to over tighten these, so I'm going to start with the screwdriver first to get those aligned. I actually named my car Viviana. If you guys didn't know, before this I used to have a 2007 Honda Civic Si. I had the FA5. I called her Viviana too. So technically this is Viviana Junior. So finally got these bolts aligned. You tighten those bolts to 11.2 inch-pounds. After that, you're going to install those 8 backing bolts to 24 inch-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten those back bolts back here and get back to you shortly. So I use my Mechanics Touch. So guaranteed exactly 24 inch-pounds. Don't forget to put this little piece right here on. So you got your MAF installed, filter, your housing, you install the cover plate right here, and you got this little bracket right here, which later you're going to be placing a grommet on according to the instructions. So I'll keep y'all updated on what we're going to do next. This sleeve, and then you should be able to just remove this rubber grommet right here, and this right here is going to be going on the new filter. I don't know where I left my screwdriver at the moment. Actually, it's on that side. Never mind, I lied. So you're going to get your tool and screw in that MAF sensor. You don't want to over tighten it because you don't want to end up breaking it either. So, oh, also, you didn't get it on video, but you got to remove this grommet off the old intake boxing, install it on the new. If it's kind of hard to reach, just get a screwdriver, pry that off, but it's not too bad. The next step is going to be removing this little bracket off the original line. There's just some clips in here that hold it in. So once you get that off, PRL actually provides to make it look professional. You're going to run this over right here, and then you're going to electrical tape it all the way through, make it look really clean. So I'll get back to y'all after I do that. As you can see, very clean, it's very nice. And then now I got flexibility to mount this MAF sensor wherever I'd like. So now guys, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing these 2 hoses right here, pulling this billet right here out. It's no longer going to be using those 2 bolts. Instead, this is going to go straight into here, and then we're going to put a hose clamp around this, just like that. We got all this out, we got the billet replaced. This is going to go in the new one. So now we're going to put the aftermarket box into the car. So something I forgot to mention, cut that zip tie that's right here that connects to your MAF sensor and run it under and and over here, so it has a cleaner look. Just try to stay away from any hot pipes or anything. Zip tie it around. So I left these bolts somewhat loose so we can fit this pipe in. Once we fit this pipe in, I'll tighten all these bolts just to make sure I have a little bit of wiggle room when installing everything. So I'm gonna wiggle this in. I'll get back to y'all in a second once I got it in. Finally came on the piping for the PRL intake. Put these two clamps afterwards because you can separate those. If you separate those bolts all the ways, they'll actually open up and then you can close them and tie in the bolts on them. So I put those two bolts on after. Connected this when I was installing, and then this I connected after. All these bolts are tightened up, so now all I got left to do, tying these 3 bolts up right here for the intake. That's not gonna go anywhere. The way we did this, just in case y'all don't remember, we're gonna start from this side over here. We're gonna go ahead, start it up, make sure everything looks good on it, and go from there. Plus these are super sharp, so they make really good cuts. I'll show you guys how one of the zip ties look like after I put one of these zip ties on. Okay guys, so if you look really closely in here, see the zip tie right here? Super flat. You can run your hand across it. It will not cut you. So I got my brother sitting in the car right now. We're gonna go ahead and start it up, see how it sounds like with the new intake. I wasn't a big fan of these 20-inch wheels that it got, but they're growing on me. So I'm lucky to be the owner of a Type R, and if you're living out your dream through mine, appreciate it. Keep on watching. Thank you. If this is something you guys are interested in doing onto your Type R, I'll drop the link for the part in the description. And yeah, the intake sounds amazing. Absolutely love it. Stay tuned for more content. I'm gonna be making more videos, lots more installs coming in, so stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.